Hello and welcome to C&T Auctioneers. I'm Leigh Gotch and I'm here to show you a selection from a very great collection, the collection of Jeremy Brewer, which we are pleased to be selling on September the 25th. The collection encompasses a wide range of toy soldiers and civilian figures. The toy soldiers, predominantly by Britons, encompass, I reckon, more or less every regiment and infantry that was produced by them from very early sets in the 1890s right through to the last production of lead figures by Britons in the 1950s and early 60s. So where do we start? Well, I think with lot one we start with the first lifeguards, Britain's first lifeguards, and here I have lot two, which is a first version of the lifeguards, and here he is. There he is on his rocking horse. So this is an early version from around 1893-94. We have a nice set here with their short carbines and the trumpeter there. And that set, as I say, dating from sort of 1893-94. And that set of 5 figures is offered with a estimate of 100 to 150. So other rare sets that are in the early part of the sale would be lot 8, which is a very rare, it's a state coach, and it's a state coach for the coronation of Edward VIII. Now, this was put in production by Britons before the coronation, but obviously Edward VIII abdicated. So production was stopped and the figures had to be replaced with George V and Elizabeth I, Elizabeth the Queen Mother. So this is a rare set, and as you can see, it's with the single figure in there. Following sets in the sale for the British Mounted Infantry include lot 11, which is Dragoon Guard, set 44. Again, a first version on the rocking horses. Other notable lots in the sale is lot 19, and which we have here, which is a Middlesex Yeomanry. So Duke of Cambridge's Hussars, again a first version of 1898. That's offered with an estimate of 300 to 500. And actually we've got that here, and that's nicely boxed. As I say, nice first version there. There we see the figures with its original box shown there. As I say, with an estimate of 300 to 500. Lot 28 is the 21st Lancers, and again this is shown here with its original box, and that's set 94, with its original early compartmentalised box there with the figures, and the figures again on those sort of rocking horses. And again, and that's estimated at, that's lot 28, that's estimated with a guide price of 400 to 600. Other interesting sets in the sale are lot 53, which is a Britain's box set 74, the Royal Welsh Fusiliers. Again, the first version, the 6 soldiers marching at the slope with valise packs and the officer with medals. They're on oval bases, and the set comes with its mascot goat. And again, that's shown here, and it's in its early box with the slots there for putting the figures into. So that's lot 53, offered with an estimate of 100 to 150. Also in the sale for the infantry section are lots 56, 57, 58 and 59. Again, they're all first version sets, so again quite rare, and the estimates there range from 80 to 300 pounds. From there we move on to the horse-drawn artillery and the supply corps. The section offers horse-drawn gun teams in full dress, service dress and review order, and that you can see in lots 68 and 69. Also in lot 70, where the horses are at gallop, we also have sets with the horses walking and at the halt, as you can see in these lots. Lot 74 is Britain's rare set 317. It's the Royal Field Artillery gun team, and that's at the halt. This is a version from 1928, the 6 horse teams with the mounted driver, limber and gun, and this set is offered with an estimate of 300 to 500. A small selection of British aircraft are shown in the sale, and these include both versions of the British RAF monoplane. The first version here, shown here, with the square end to the wings, and then the second version, which is shown here, with the rounded wings ends. Both come with their pilots, and both come with estimates of 150 to 200. Nice examples there. Also in the aircraft section, we have this lovely boxed RAF cooperative auto gyro. Again, all there, lovely box, lovely piece. This produced around, when was that produced? Around sort of 1936 to 1941. Lovely condition there, and this comes with an estimate of 4 to 600. Next, from there, we move on to what I consider to be one of the highlights of Jeremy's collection, which is the Boer War. This is perhaps one of the most comprehensive sections I've seen for a Boer War collection. And I think the highlight, one of the highlights in this section is lot 114, which is your rare Britain set 38. This is Dr. Jameson and the African Mounted Infantry of 1896. And again, we've got the set here. And there they are with their rifles. And there's the original box stating it's Dr. Jameson's and the African Mounted Infantry. Nice rare set, and that is being offered with an estimate of £400 to £600. Also in the Boer War section, and other lots of interest would be lot 113, which is Britain set 26, that's Boer War infantry. Again, first version. Also lot 116, City Imperial Volunteers. Lot 117, Imperial Yeomanry. And lot 118, which is set 108, the 6 Dragoons, but in Boer War service dress. There's also lot 122, which is this is Rare Britain's CFE 4-horse Boer War Army Service Supply Corps, and that I can show you here, hopefully. Which is a lovely set, very rare, with their slouch hats and supply wagon. There's 2 supply wagons there. You've got 2 seated orderlies, and you've also got 2 marching figures there on oval bases. Quite a desirable and rare set. And that rounds off the Boer War section. We also have a few sort of figures that Britain's made that were for lot 125. This is the rare Beisler military game officer. And these are rare. I think these are great figures. I just love the pose of those. Is rather special. These, I believe, were made for the American market. And another individual rare figure is lot 126, which is Britain's for C.W. Beisler of America. And here we've got an American officer on a rearing horse. Again, quite rare individual figures. You don't see them that often. And that comes with an estimate of 80 to 120. So we also have a nice selection of bands. So bands of the British Army, they have a long tradition with our forces, and one of the nicest lots in the sale, or in the band section, is lot 128. So this is Britain set 37, full band of the Coldstream Guards. Again, another early first version, this of 1896. The estimate on this lot is 250 to 350. The section also includes 2 special paint sets commissioned from Britain's. These include lot 132, which is Britain's special paint. This is the band of the military police. This was done in 1938, and as you can see, it's in a blue full trouser uniform. And then there's also lot 133, which is Britain's band of the 5th Dragoon Guards in a number 1 dress of 1939, again full dark green full trouser uniform. Both sets estimated at 300 to 400. And of course, No band collection would be complete without the Britain set were 2186, which is Bahamas Police Band, and that's being offered as lot 136 in the sale. This was unlisted set and it was for export only. In 1960 it was produced. The estimate's 250 to 350. Okay, moving on, we move on to the Indian troops, and here we have lot 144. This is your 1st Bengal Cavalry, Sons of the Empire, gaining a nice early compartmental box. And nice horses, head down horses. There's the lid. Advertising movable arms. So that's lot 144, and that's in at £200 to £300. Other interesting lots in the Indian section would be lot 146, which is a rare Britain set 64. This is your 16th Light Cavalry and your 7th Punjab Regiment. This is from the 1930s. The estimate's 200 to 300. We then move on to the colonial troops, Arabs, natives. This is a set, I've always liked this set. I love the box. This is lot 155. There you go. This is the West Indian Regiment. There's the box. And here's the troops. And again, it's in a relatively early box with the slits at the bottom of the figures. And that's lot 155. That dates to early 1900s, and that's in with an estimate of 80 to 120. Other sets which are in this section of colonial troops would include lot number in the sale, lot number 159, which is Britain's box set 1542. This is the New Zealand infantry in service dress. This is a small head version. It's from 1937. Estimate on that is 80 to 120. We also have examples. This is quite a rare figure. That's lot 160. We have 4 of these in the sale. These are figures of British Camel Corps trooper, and this comes from a very large set, set 131. These figures, you would only get these in that set, so they're very rare figures. These are in lovely condition. So it's British Camel Corps there, with its soldier, and that's in with an estimate of £200 to £300. Well, also of interest from this would be lot 167, which is a set 116, which is Sudanese infantry, and again another first version, so early with the oval bases. They've got Slade Wallace equipment, and they've got paper labels to the bases as well, dated January the 20th, 1901. Also, we've got African warriors, the Zulus, another nice box set. This is set lot number 170. As you can see there's 8 charging Zulus with their shields, and they're wielding their knob kerries and spears. Got 177. Okay, Arabs of the desert. This is a sort of latest set from the 1950s, but I just think it's, you know, it's very sort of Lawrence of Arabia in a way, that very sort of period, a lot of interest there. And this is a lovely set with the Arabs, the palm trees, and you've got the Arabs on the camels, charging on horseback and also marching. Lovely mint condition there, well, near mint. Lovely set. So that was lot 177, and that's offered with an estimate of 120 to 180. And then we move into a section again. Britons were very prolific in producing armies from around the world. We include here, we've got set 133, which is here, which is the Russian infantry, which is set 133, Russian infantry there. This again is the first version from about 1908 with their dark hue green uniforms and the officer with his sword. Estimate 120 to 180. on that. From the armies around the world section, other interesting lots would be lot 182, which is a rare set. 135, the Japanese cavalry. This is in the dark blue jacket version from 1940. Also, we've got Britain's set 2172. Here we go, lot 188. This is the French colonial armies for Algerians. Now, this was quite a rare set that we don't find that often. It's a latest set, but it was a whole new casting for Britons, and I think it wasn't made for that long. Yep, just a couple of years, 1958 to 1960. They're quite, they're nice figures, and again in lovely condition in its original Regiments of All Nations box, and that we have an estimate of 300 to 500. Also on offer would be lot 189, which is a set 154 Prussian infantry of the line at 100 to 150. We've also got lot 190 Italian cavalry and lot 195, which is your Turkish cavalry. Again, these are all nice good versions, in nice condition. Estimates range from about 100 to 150 pounds per set. And then we've got quite a rare box set. This is your Netherlands infantry. It's made for just about a year, around 1940. In the Armies of the World box. This is Netherlands infantry. This is set number 1850. Made for a short period of time in its original box with its slotted base there. And that we're offering with an estimate of 150 to 250. They look in very fine condition. We now move away from Britons, and an interesting lot is lot 228, which is the Timpo Big Game Tiger Hunt. This is from the 1950s. As you can see in the illustration here, you've got the two elephants with the howdahs and the seated Raja, the white hunter, you've got the drivers, the beaters, and with spears, and the two tigers, and unfortunately one wounded. But quite a rare set to come across, especially as it seems very complete. And that's how offered with an estimate of 150 to 250. There's a nice little selection of European makers and soldiers by makers such as Heyde, and these include, there's lot 234, which is your box set of Heyde Prussian infantry. And also lot 235 is interesting. This is Heyde set 1000 English stagecoach, which we believe to probably be stagecoach with King George V and Queen Mary inside. Again, rare piece, little bit of damage, but there you go, 300 to 500 for that. We also have by Heyde a few lots of Heyde Delhi Durbar figures, and they include this lot 234, which shows these great figures on stilts. So these Delhi Durbar figures, and they're on these long stilts with their swords and their shields. So in that lot, we offer 5 figures from Delhi Durbar series, and they're estimated 150 to 200 for the 5. Going on, there is also a nice selection of Heyde cowboys and Indians, and other makes that are on offer include CBG Mignon, Lucotte, and others. I also like lot 263, which is this lovely little set of semi-flat figures in its original box. Lid comes off so you can get a better picture. There we go. With its 2 wagons, looks like a pontoon section. Ambulance with its horse team, and then its soldiers below. It's just a really little charming set. Really like that. So that's lot 263. Estimate 80 to 120. Right, after that we move on to, the sale closes, or we move on to the civilian section of the sale. And Jeremy's collection, you know, the civilian section that he collected, it depicts civilian life, whether it be countryside or in the city or whatever, from the 1920s right through to the 1950s. So we have a few lots here to show you. And the highlights start with, well, we'll go for country life. If you look at lot 286 and 287, these are Britain sets 234 and 235. So you've got the hunting series, the meat, estimated at 120 to 180, and that, from the hunting series again, the full cry at 150 to 200. Both nice sets from the 1950s, nice in their original boxes and in lovely condition. This I do like. This is lot 289. This is your Britain's Boy Scouts. There's the box, lovely lid, and this is the set. So you get the first set with all the scouts going about their chores, setting up camp, and then you get section underneath, original paper with Boy Scouts, signallers, trees, gates. So again, lovely set, all tied in great condition. It's sold with an estimate of 500 to 800. Other civilian or workers and the services sets include, if you've got to look at lot 300, which is a Taylor and Barrett turntable fire escape. Also lot 302, which is a Charbon's boxed London, Midland and Scottish Railway Co. railway wagon from the 1930s. That's estimated at 200 to 300. Another nice set is lot 305, which is a Timpo box set of station figures. We've also got the Charbon's lot 318 soap box racer. And then we've got lot 295, which is this motorbike and sidecar by Britons. Quite a scarce piece. It's produced in the sort of 1930s, from about 1932 to 1941. That's estimated at 200 to 300. Lot 340, this is a trade box of cocoa cups. So, if we take out the tissue here, I think nearly all the cocoa cups are represented in this trade box with its original tissue. We can bring that up. We'll come to another section. Take the tissue out. So figures that include Mr. and Mrs. Pie Polka, Tiny Tusk Jonathan, Squire Rooster, Captain Kangaroo, Mrs. Cackle Goose, Nutty Squirrel, Henrietta Feather, Fussy Feathers, Gussie Robin, and many more. Quite rare to see that with the trade box like that. The sale finishes with Britons and other makes farm animals, people, workers, and then finally the zoo animals, people and workers. But obviously no sale would be complete without a Britain's village idiot. And there we go. One is offered in the sale. There's green smock. And there's the end of it. Thank you for listening.